Welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin Hippo. Today is Monday, March 2nd, and because it's a Monday, that means it's time for What's Sold on eBay. Just like every week, guys, we're going to go on a little walk through Instagram and look at our photos from each day of the week of our packages that we shipped out. And then we'll jump over to eBay, where I have picked out some items to show you, some highlights from the week, whether they're good bread and butter items to keep your eyeballs peeled for, or bolos. And of course, I've pulled all the plush because they're my favorite to show you guys. Let's jump on in. I got a lot to show you this week, so we'll just get started. You're looking at today's photo. And we had 24 packages today go out. 23 of those were eBay sales. And one, surprising, was on Bonanza. Wasn't that stellar or fantastic of a weekend? Our historical sell-through rate is 0.5%. But we do have a lot of remotes now that sell at a 1% sell-through rate. So we should be around 35-40 on a normal, good weekend. The past few weekends were really good. This one was kind of slow. Friday afternoon and all day Saturday actually was when most of our sales came in. It was busy, like it's a real store, but it was busy. A lot of things were selling. And then it just kind of like Saturday night stopped overnight. And then all day Sunday was just crickets. And it was so quiet and nothing was selling. And then suddenly Sunday evening, things started to happen again. We started getting offers in and some more things sold. And then overnight into today. But it was like the weekend started with a bang and then went out real quiet. But 24 packages isn't an awful weekend. And we had a lot of really good items in their sale. And the Bonanza sale was a nice surprise. Okay, so here's the last weekend's photo. You can see 36 items and 33 packages. So that's 36 sales in a weekend, and that's more like where we really want to be. Tuesday, we had 6 packages. 5 of those were eBay sales and 1 Poshmark. Wednesday, we had 6 again. Again, 5 eBay and 1 Poshmark. Thursday, we had 9 packages. 8 of those were eBay sales. 1 was Poshmark. And then on Friday, we had 11 items sell and a total of 10 packages. 10 of those were eBay sales and 1 was Poshmark. All right, let's jump over to eBay and start with the plush. This is a hug and love monkey. Isn't he cute? He was 50 cents at the Goodwill. He was so cute. I let him go for a best offer of $7.50. He weighed right at 1 ounce. So he shipped super cheap first class. This is Elmo. You guys might have remember seeing him very recently in a haul video. Did not take long at all for Elmo here to sell. He sings... Elmo's tired. He talks, not sings. I'm sleepy. And then he sings like a lullaby. And then he snores. He's really cute. So he's been around for a couple of weeks. Not that long at all. And he was 50 cents, if I didn't say that already, at the Goodwill. He sold for $11.24. And he shipped first class. This is a classic toy company, one of my favorite generic brands that I actually consider a good bread and butter. This pig was 50 cents at the Goodwill, and as you can see from these photos, he had some loose threads. He's seen better days. Right here on his neck and his back. So I just showed that and disclosed it. He had some scratches on his eyes. So the pig would have been listed for a lot more had he not had all of these defects or problems. I accepted a best offer of $12.50 and he shipped in a poly bag. First class. Now we're looking at a Minecraft cow or bull. When you source your Minecraft plush, guys, keep in mind that it has to be officially licensed. Minecraft is absolutely one of those companies that will seek you out on eBay and other platforms if you're selling unlicensed or unofficial products, and they will report you, and you're running the risk of getting your account suspended. So make sure, not just Plush, but t-shirts or anything that has to do with Minecraft, make sure they're the official Mojang brand, which is right there on the tag for you guys to look at. I paid 50 cents for this at Goodwill. I let him go for a best offer of 8, and he was about 2 ounces, so he was another cheapo cost on first class shipping. Here we have Fluttershy. She's a little My Little Pony. She was 50 cents at the Goodwill. And I let her go for a best offer of $9, and she shipped first class. Now we're looking at these 2 Star Wars dudes. They are the Inquisitor and Ezra Bridger from the movies. These came from a different Goodwill than our normal regular one that we go to every weekend. And so I believe these were 99 cents a piece. So a total cost of $1.98 for the 2. And they sold for $12.80, and they shipped first class together. Guys, here's Grumpy Cat. You remember her? She has not been around long at all. She was a very, very recent find. Maybe about 2 weeks ago. She was in the store for less than a week. There was a lot of interest in her. We were fielding a lot of lowball offers. People were sending in, and I just kept countering at 10% off. I knew I wanted at the very least, $11.50 maybe. Excuse me. And so the week that she was up, we were getting a lot of, look at her little face. We were getting a lot of offers on her. And we held we held to what we wanted, and she eventually sold for full price at $12.99. And, again, she was only 50 cents. You guys probably remember seeing her if you watched my my guest appearance on Dominic's live show of the Primetime Treasure Hunter. He had me on to talk about flipping plush, and this was one of the ones I showed. And then again in my own plush haul video, and I talked about how much I liked her, and I almost was going to keep her. But every time I say I'm going to keep something, it sells. Alright. That is the end of the plush for the week. We're just going to jump into some odds and ends. A lot of this is just going to be bread and butter stuff that you guys should keep an eye out for if you can get for low enough cost of goods. They're good items to keep in your store to keep your overall listings up and your daily sales up. These are American Eagle jean shorts, booty shorts. I love selling booty shorts. You guys probably have heard me say that a million times. This particular pair was 99 cents at the Goodwill, sold for $19.95, then shipped first class. So you can see that a lot of these booty shorts, regardless of the brand, will sell for just as much or more than their jeans. That brand of jeans will sell in many, many cases. These are J. Crew men's jeans. Relaxed. That's what the tag says. And these, I want to say, were 99 cents at the Goodwill. I don't believe they came out of a ThredUp box. I don't remember getting any men's J. Crew from a ThredUp. So these would have been 99 cents at the Goodwill. And I sold them for $24.88. And they shipped in a padded flat. Now we're looking at Peter Millar. This is a good brand. You guys keep an eye out for the Peter Millar brand in sweaters and men's button front shirts. It typically goes for a little bit higher dollar amounts, and it sells pretty fast. It's a pretty good brand, so keep an eye out for Peter Millar. This merino wool sweater sold for $34.99, and this is actually the 3rd time it has sold. This is one of those cursed items. I don't know if you guys have ever had an item like that, but I jokingly call them the cursed items that get sent back for fit 1 or 2 times before it will finally sell and stick and just stay with the buyer. Usually if it comes back a 3rd time, we'll reassess the situation. We will look at how much we've put out in shipping and how much it costs and if it's worth it to relist at that point. Because after the third return, sometimes it's really not worth relisting, because then you're looking at losing money. And then one thing we do on our men's clothes, we do not do measurements on our men's shirts when we list them. There is a reason why for that, and we have a video on that. In fact, I'll have it pop up at the end. For those of you that are sitting there with your mouths open in shock, like, what? You don't do measurements? Not on men's shirts. We have a very good reason for that. If you haven't seen our video on why, I'll have that pop up at the end. But we do, when we get a return for fit, we do put the measurements into the listing, as you can see here, the second time it goes up, to kind of try to ward off a second return or prevent that from happening again. So after this came back the first time, we added the measurements, and you can see where I put note measurements below for a good fit. Came back a second time. So this is the third time. Fingers crossed this is the last time. Third time's the charm, right guys? So it sold for $34.99. We paid 99 cents for it at the Goodwill, so we're not out that much money. And then it shipped first class. All right, we have some Old Navy women's jeans here. These are the Sweetheart bootcut. I like Old Navy Rockstar a lot as far as bread and butter, but I just like all Old Navy. And when they have the names like that, they're good bread and butter. Rockstar does the best for me, but I pick them all up. This one was a good size. It's size 14. 99 cents at the Goodwill. Sold for $19.95 and shipped in a padded flat. We have these Speedo athletic pants, 99 cents, cost of goods. Took about probably 8-9 months to sell. They sat for a while. They sold for $17 and shipped first class. Here we have some Levi's. You guys, I don't personally source Levi's anymore. In the beginning, when I was first learning how to resell and learning what sold well, what sold fast, what sold for the most money, Levi's was a brand I picked up. And for me anyway, they would sit forever, and they just weren't to me worth picking up. So I don't source them anymore. But this pair came in a thread-up box, so I listed them, of course, to try to get as much profit as I could out of the thread-up box. They averaged out to about $1.78, I want to say, per pair from that box, and these sold within a couple weeks of being listed for $22.99. So maybe I'll start looking at men's, specifically Levi's, to pick up anymore. I think I'm still going to stay away from women's, but these men's Levi's 511 sold relatively, not even relatively, they sold really quickly, especially for jeans. So I may, if they're 99 cents when we go to the Goodwill on the 99-cent sale day, I'll probably pick them up and see if I can do it again. These shipped in a padded flat. Gap is another one of my absolute favorite bread and butters. The one thing I really love about Gap is every pair is going to give you their style. They're going to say flare or boot cut or low ride. They'll say something on them that helps you out with your keywords and when you're filling out your item specifics. And you don't have to rely on the measurements or whatever to choose what the style is or what have you. So these are the Sexy Boyfriend, and they're 27 tall. And these were 99 cents at the Goodwill. They sold for $22.99, and they shipped in a padded flat. All right, let me check my notes because I know I took a best offer. Okay, I took a best offer on this frame. This frame came from, here, let me make it bigger. We were at a neighborhood yard sale last summer, and longtime viewers have probably heard this story already. We went to this neighborhood yard sale, and it was actually set up more like a flea market. Everybody in that neighborhood had set up their tables and their little stations in this little park in their neighborhood. And there was a older gentleman and his really nice wife that had all their stuff up for sale. They had tons of Disney stuff. Well, they're snowbirds, and they live in Florida part of the year, and they bring all their Disney stuff back and sell it. So this was one of the things. They just gave us a really good deal on a whole bunch of stuff. I walked away from that sale with a ton of stuff. So I want to say this frame probably came out to a quarter, 25 cents. I took a best offer of $8.10, and then the buyer also paid the shipping on this because it did weigh over a pound once it was packaged up in its box. So it was $8.10 plus priority shipping for the buyer. You guys, this bag. Let me tell you that I cannot tell you guys enough how thankful I am that I finally went through my death piles. It took 5 months, and we didn't source for 5 months, and it was hard work, and I had to go through a lot of I don't wannas and a lot of crap and just decide what was being relisted and what was being, or listed, what was being redonated. I found so many awesome stuff. So many awesome stuff. That's not right English. I found so many awesome items. That's what I'm trying to say. This bag was in another bag of bags. So we had this big Cleveland Indians bag, and you probably heard this already because I know we sold a Las Vegas beaded purse out of this already. But there was a big, like, tote bag or, duffel gym bag that has the Cleveland Indians team on it, that has the old logo. And inside that bag were bags and bags and bags and bags. And this was one of them. And I was very excited to find it. I believe the Cleveland Indians bag came from a yard sale with all of these bags inside of it. I think that's how I got it. It was a couple years ago. This is how long it got. I mean, it got buried up in our death pile and just never seen again for a couple years. But if I remember correctly, they had the Cleveland Indians bag on the lawn, and it was stuffed full of just tons of other bags, and they let me have it for a couple bucks with everything in it. So this is super cool. Like, this is something I would, like, if I found this in the wild and sourced it by itself, I would be so excited. The fact that it sat there forever. Anyway, that's a lesson learned, everyone. Make sure that you're going through your death piles and getting stuff listed. So I would have to say the amount of bags that was in the bag of bags, and the fact that I remember paying like $2 for it all, each bag probably came out to like 10-15 cents a bag, honestly. So this sold for $23.43, and they paid shipping in addition to that. It did weigh very, very close to a pound on its own, and I wanted to ship it in a box because it's a very nice bag. I didn't want to just cram it in a poly bag. So I did charge calculated 1 to 2 pounds on it, 1 to 2. And it went in a box and wrapped it up nice in tissue paper. It also sold through the global shipping program, so this went internationally, which was cool. And speaking of our global shipping sales over the weekend, we sold 2 things through the global shipping program on eBay. We sold this bag and these shoes have been the bane of my existence for 2 years. I hate these shoes. I will never source Under Armour shoes again, ever. I found these at a yard sale, like, in 2017. Like, back in 1982. No. But it's been a very long time. And they were $5, and I was so stoked. Because I was, I didn't know anything about reselling. And I thought, oh, these are Under Armour, and they're in a box, and they're only $5. Listen, these things have never actually been shipped out and returned, but they have sold approximately 4 times. One time they sold on Poshmark, and she asked to cancel it right away because she thought they were golf shoes. Even, you guys, do you see my title right here? Yeah, even on Poshmark it said baseball cleats or whatever, but she asked to cancel her order right away because she thought they were for a different sport. And then the 3 times they sold on eBay, they did not get paid for. So they sold, and then an unpaid item case was opened, and eventually the unpaid item case was closed, and we were able to relist the item, the shoes. So they've been around forever. Back when I first listed them, they were up for like $60, but you know what? I just wanted rid of them at this point. So they sold for $12. I took a best offer of $12. They paid the shipping on them though. So they paid $12 plus priority shipping to Kentucky, and then whatever additional GSP fees there were. So bye-bye Under Armour shoes. Get out. We're tired of looking at you. And then I just wanted to show you guys this bag. This was free to us. It was given to us by a friend. So there's no cost of goods on it. So I figured, what the heck? Took some photos of it. Put a measuring tape on it. Opened it up so everybody could see inside. And it sold for $16.95 and shipped first class. Alright, let's take a couple minutes to talk about remotes. We sold about 23 remotes. So again, that comes out to a little over, 3 remotes per day if you average it out for the week. So we're holding steady at a 1% sell-through rate. Some days it's a little bit less, some days it's a little bit more, but overall our remotes are selling at a 1% sell-through rate, which is really good for remotes. That's exactly right where they should be. So of the 23 that sold, I picked out 2 to show you. So if you find them out in the wild, these are some that you can be looking for that will sell for a pretty good amount. This is a Denon Professional Remote Control Unit, and there's its model number right there. You can make note of that if you want to keep an eye out for this when you're outsourcing. It sold for $31.99. And then there's this genuine JVC DVD theater remote control. It looks like this. It's a pretty neat remote. And there's its number there. It's also up here for you guys if you want to take note of it. And this one sold for $34.99. All of our remotes averaged out to about 52 cents per remote. We did buy a wholesale lot of 3,000 remotes for $1,600 shipped. So they're about 52 cents a piece. And we shipped them wrapped in one little wrap of bubble wrap inside those yellow padded mailers. And they all shipped first class. So those are a couple remotes you can keep an eye out for, along with all these other bolos and stuff I showed you. I would say that the mistake of the week is these shoes. Don't source Under Armour shoes if you find them, guys. Alright, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know how your sales are doing. I do love to hear from you guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up before you leave. It really helps the channel. If you're not in our Facebook group, you should be. We have a fantastic time in there. It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod, and there's also a link down below for you to click to join. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos on all social media, and you can email us at flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. Until next time, guys, go be productive, go make some money. And thank you again, or thank you as always, for watching. We absolutely appreciate each and every one of you guys. Are the best. Bye.